Heyo chat, we back. My OBS decided to just implode on itself, which is pretty cool. So now I'm just quickly getting music set up, but yeah, we are back. I mean, to be honest, I was kind of thinking about it too, as sucky as it is that it crashed. I guess it was kind of like perfect timing. It was like we were switching over to playing the game anyways, so I guess it kind of worked out. Now I can rename that one to specifically talking about the update. Let me reshuffle. Let's do this. Mute this one. There we go. Let's flip straight to this. Cool. Where's me? Where am I? I'd like to be here, please. Would be pretty cool. You were literally working when I restarted my thing. I also blame Nintendo, Garth. Oh, hold on. Here's, did my camera die? Come on, man, you were just working. It was literally just working. See? Okay, maybe not. It is a lie. It was working. Cat the struggles. Look at that. But I agree, Nintendo's trying to silence me, chat. They hear me talking shit. Whenever something bad happens. Yeah, we'll just blame Nintendo for anything that goes wrong. Even if it's not even Palworld related, we're just gonna be like, Nintendo. I blame the Malta. I'm not sure what that is. What is that, a company or something? I'm also very stupid, so if it's something that's super popular, I apologize. Or well known, I should say. Sent you a message on Discord before you ended the stream in case you didn't see. Gotcha. I'm assuming that's the thing. I don't have Discord open while I stream. But yeah. It's just my entire stream, I don't know what happened with my OBS. It essentially crashed in the weirdest way possible. Because when I tried to shut down my computer, it was oh well, your stream's still running, and then it also at the same time said your OBS crashed. So it just froze in the weirdest way possible. Nintendo the new Dingleberg. Oh, gotcha. Exactly. Dingleberg. Let's see, is Dinkelberg the Fairly Odd Parents one? That's the one with Jimmy's dad. It's he hates his neighbor. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. it's kind of odd, but the more you think about it, the more you realize that there's a lot of like shows throughout the years that have like the dad hating the neighbor for some reason, or a like an individual for some reason. Nintendo. What's Crocker or whatever his name is? Berries. All right, chat. Let's keep building. You know, let's play some Palworld. That's what we're here to do, right? Oh, also, just because I didn't discuss it yet, I just kind of like briefly went over it. This right here is probably like my favorite figure set of all time. Like that I got in my collection. Because essentially, for those who aren't aware, it's kind of hard to see in the corner. I'll kind of big screen it. Up. Cool. Well, you can still see it. But, oh, did my game crash? Oh, wait, no, it didn't. I just was on my other screen. Let's see. But you can see it in this picture soon. My OBS doesn't just completely crash right here. But, essentially, it is Whitebeard and Goldie Roger for One Piece. They're fighting each other. I think it's pretty neat. Are you gonna wanna show again? Oh, it is working. It just wasn't showing on my screen. Cool. Hi, chat. But yeah, I'll show it kind of close up quick. Because it's two separate parts, chat. These are two separate figures. We got Whitebeard jumping up, smashing down. He got his... Oh, I'm trying to rotate this without breaking it. Got his Whitebeard symbol on his back, cape. Pretty cool little guy. I actually had to like glue this and like adjust it because essentially the way it was designed, it like leans and is like too heavy and falls over easily. Then we also have... Oh. We got us Goldie Roger standing his ground. And then you usually see him from this side. But I don't know, chat. This is easily one of my favorite figures I have in my collection just because I like dynamic poses. And this is easily one of the most dynamic poses. Plus I like how the stand is like not just like a flat piece of plastic and it's actually like built into the figure. It's nice, I like it. Yeah, I totally understand it. Like I always say, to be honest, I just put these all here because I have all these figures in the background. Hi, Henry. Are you gonna be king of the pirates? But yeah, it's just like I have all these figures here and I'm like, might as well show them off. Just rotate through them every stream whenever I feel like it, just so chat can see them, and that way if someone is into whatever the figure is related to, it's like, oh, cool. Because I have a few different figures. I got a lot of Transformer, One Piece, Dragon Ball. You mind, buddy? He's chat. This is what he does before he lays down. He has to walk back and forth on my lap so he can get comfortable. But also got a few Demon Slayer. I want to get more Demon Slayer. I'm gonna get a few more My Hero stuff in the future. But yep, there he goes. Plop. Yeah, but I got quite a few figures hanging out back there, so I figured just rotate through them, get some use out of them. I have like 40 some odd Funko Pops all signed. That's very cool. I like Funko Pops. My only problem is I'm not a huge fan of like in-box collecting, and I know that's essentially what Funko Pop collecting is. Funny enough, I have a few Funko Pops. They're you can't even see them because my mic's in the way, but they're like here-ish, kind of underneath. It's like right where my mic's thing is. I do this. Hold up. There you go. My two Funko Pops, chat. It's Mega Man and King Dice from Cuphead. and they're out of the box, so all you in-box collectors can fight me. I just don't care. They're for my own personal enjoyment. I didn't get them for any sort of like resale value or collecting reason. I'm just like, they're characters that I'm like, I like, but I don't want to go actually spend like $50+ on a figure of them, you know? So that's why I got them. That's okay, Atox. That's the thing. It's just like, just because I have, well, we all have different interests and stuff, but we all have the same collective interest of Palworld, so it is what it is. That's just how things roll. It's just like, and I'm also not expecting everyone to be into what I'm into, and I'm probably not going to be into everything that all you guys are into, but once again, we got Palworld. That's all that matters. Anyways, we're at this base here because I was doing AFK mining, but Henry, you're gonna have a cable lay on you. 2 cables, actually. How does that make you feel? That's what you get for sitting on my lap while streaming. Your fault. Well, the top over the base. Let me show you what I've done. And then, yeah, let's start building in, what's it called? Building a new base. I miss the Mega Man games. I want more of them. I agree. I miss the classic ones. I just like need, either I gotta get an emulator or get like some old console that can actually run them. But all right, yeah, exactly. That'd be cool. Mega Man collab in Palworld. When will we have an interview with Henry? Chat, Henry, what do you have to say to chat? I can't like move my mic that low. He doesn't even care, chat. He's literally looking this way. He does not care even a single bit. He's just like, I just want to sit on your lap. Exactly. He just is here to exist, chat. But I'm sure you guys can already tell I've done a little bit. Funny enough, I did not move this though. This is still just placed sloppily right there. But oh, spoilers, chat. Yormantide upgrade upgrade guide coming soon. Let me put my Yormantide away and grab Dave, and also an Anubis because we're gonna need them. But to show you kind of what I did, we did a little garden area here. Let me hop on Dave. So this is what the mega base generally looks like now, chat. As you can see, we did a couple things. Essentially, I just copy and pasted this layer and just built it up a few more to make sure we had plenty of floors, and then I finally just topped off the roof. We got some windows and stuff. We'll go over everything inside in a sec, but just general look over the back. Got some windows and stuff. See, I wanted to still have some glass windows because I do like the aesthetic of the windows, but at the same time I do know that an issue a lot of people have is, welcome Green Dino Ranger, a long time no see. It feels like I haven't seen you in a minute. Welcome to the stream, and also thank you for the 2. I appreciate it. I think it's like 128 on screen, but whatever currency it is, I appreciate it. That's super kind of you to do that. And I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. But like I was saying though, from what I've heard, and I'm sure it's probably more of a console thing or just like more low to mid tier PCs, because even my PC sucks. But people say that there's a lot of issues with lag on my mega bases due to the glass. So I guess anyone watching that's built any of my bases and you're having a lot of lag issues, just replace the some of the glass with like just other types of walls or materials, and your lag should for the most part clear up. But like I said, I like the glass, but I didn't want to make it a full glass base again, so we just added some panels here and there. But to go over this front part first, I guess, fast. So we made a little garden area. I think it looks pretty nice. No, don't worry about it. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's terrible. I'm very sorry to hear that happen, Green Dino. That is not an easy thing to go through. Like, in all honesty, it's something that I personally think about a lot, because my dad, he's like almost 70. He's like 68. And like he's not in like terrible health or anything, but it is something I think about where I'm like, you're getting up there to where health complications can start happening. So that genuinely is something I think about a lot. And like I said, like I will say this, and you guys will probably hear me say this a lot for anytime anything happens to anyone. I'm very bad at kind of expressing like in words how I feel, but I genuinely do feel for you. That is an extremely difficult thing to go through, and all I can like say properly without sounding like a complete idiot or saying way too much that doesn't make sense. You got my support 100%. You got everyone in chat support. We're all here for you. Like, I hope you get through it and get past it in a healthy way. That's all I can really say. It's super tough situation, and that sucks that happened, but we're here for you. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's just, yeah, I mean, heck, I know it's not the same thing, but it's even the same. I was having that conversation about my animals with these little guys. I'm like, Chad, it's gonna hit me like a freaking train, because being the idiot I am, all of my animals are roughly around the same age, and they're roughly gonna live around the same lifespan. So all of my animals, like 1 year, are just gonna start dropping like flies. And I'm telling you guys, that's what I'm saying when like I'm a sympathetic person. I only know Green Dino Ranger by name, but like I am genuinely like almost ready to cry. I'm a little bitch, chat. Leave me alone. But like, no, genuinely, like I'm a very sympathetic person. So like I think about like the stuff that people go through, and just thinking about that kind of situation. And if like knowing I will eventually have to go through that, like, yeah, that's tough. But we're here for you. We're here for you, man. So, but it's just like, yeah, well, for my animals at least, I'm gonna pretty much have a year of pure depression, because all my little friends are essentially gonna all die at once, and it's gonna make me very sad. Yeah, see, that's also tough, just like all that happening at once. Not one. I'm also just saying this, by the way, because it's just kind of like as a way for me to like relate. But I guess like the closest thing I can relate to in that type of situation is in high school. I had, funny enough, I just like thought about this recently because of a podcast I was listening to. But I had two classmates in high school. They were like a couple grades older than me, but like I knew them fairly well, both of them. Both of them ended up tragically taking their own lives within like a week of each other. Not like related to each other, but happened to be within that same week. So it's like literally one death was announced like one day, and then like literally like 3 days later, like my teacher like just he couldn't even, it almost seemed like he was like so drawn out, like because of the first death, unfortunately, that it's just like he was just emotionless for the second one, where it's just like you can only take so much, you know. So it's like, but yeah, that it's one of those things. And hey, don't trust me, I'll call you Dino, or we'll call you Ranger for now, because other Ranger's not here. Ranger, don't feel bad for me. I'm a big strong boy with pulled up my pants real high to make sure it ain't sagging. I'm long past it. I will say it's still something I occasionally think about, just because I feel like it'd be disrespectful not to think about them. But no, right now this is about you, man. You're the one going through the tough time right now, so don't even feel bad for me. What happened. It's very unfortunate. Nothing we can do about it now, but yeah, we're here to take care of you, man. We want to make sure you're all right. That's a tough situation you're going through, so we're here for you. We're here for you. And if you need my Discord or anything, you just want to chat or whatever, just kind of vent or anything, just let me know. And yeah, we can chat or whatever. Cause yeah, we're here for you, man. We're here for you. It's tough. Dino's fine. All right, but Dino, we're here for you. We're here for you. Yikes. Yeah. I don't want to make this a super sad stream, chat. But yeah, that also does really suck. Atox. It's just like, yeah, it's that's a tough one, especially like you said, like now your birthday doesn't feel special anymore. It sucks. Loss of someone close in your life is never easy, and I'll admit I'm not the best person to be talking about it because I am horrible with death. But yeah, just know you guys all got my sympathy and everything. I feel for you guys. It's not an easy situation. So, but we're all here for each other. We're all a support group. But I'm thinking changing my username is something easier. Hey, no worries, no worries. I mean, hey, Green Dino Ranger's cool, man. I don't blame you. Yeah, exactly. Kind of same thing here, Atox. Like, that was in high school for me, and it's almost been like 10 years since I've been out of high school. So it's like, it's in the past. It's kind of one of those things, you're already gone through all the motions. Obviously, they'll still come up, especially when it's like around that time it happened. But yeah, but definitely tough. Definitely tough. I agree, Darren. Tommy Oliver, rest in peace. He was the GOAT. All right, chat. So, how do I transition this without it being super awkward and uncomfortable? Cat. Kitty. Just like start speed, like just go like full on like Fortnite and just like start like cranking 90s. He is sleepy. I'm sorry I woke you up, baby bean. He was comfy on my lap, but I didn't know what else to do. I panicked, chat. I told you I'm bad with awkward situations. But no, and just yeah, oh well, there goes camera, rest in pepperonis. But it's one of those things where I'm like, how do we transition from, because I don't want to just seem like we like don't care about you, Ranger, or sorry, Dino, but it's just like I don't want to just go from like, I'm sorry about your loss, let's build, chat. You know, I don't know, it felt weird. Rip your Knocklim's broken bones. But yeah, TLDR, we're here for you, Dino. Yeah. And like I said, if you need to chat, just let me know after stream or anything, and we'll figure something out. But chat, we are going to get into the building after an hour and a half. Aw, that's super kind of you. Thank you, Dino. LOL, I feel that. Hey, single life over here, baby. Who needs a love life when I have fur balls I can hug? But, we are gonna quickly. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Hey, let's just say this. I'm glad that you're at least trying to keep the mood bright. I know you're, like I said, situations hard to stay positive, but hey, maybe I'll try my best to make your night a little bit better. Hopefully, give you a few smiles here and there. That'll be my goal for tonight. But all right, chat. Let me go switch camera batteries quick. We'll stream for a while here. I probably want to stream till like midnight again, so and it's only 10 for me, so at least a couple more hours here. But let me go switch camera batteries, and we'll be right back. We'll hope my stream doesn't implode while I'm gone. BRB. Chat, we're back, I think. Let's see if my camera's actually back. Hi. But yeah, see, funny enough, that's why I was thinking about starting the Discord soon, Nightmare. Because I know that is an issue that people have where they don't get notified about my stuff. And even with one of my most recent videos, I don't know if like the YouTube algorithm like glitched out or whatever, but it feels like not my like Catris upgrade guide, but the video before that, I feel like that just did not get into anyone's algorithm for whatever reason. I don't know what happened with that upload, but like a good way to explain it, chat, Catris video in about 2 days got about 1.4k views. That's what it's sitting at about right now. And that other video that I posted, it was like posted a couple days before that, it's sitting at like 400 views. So like on average, and like here to give you guys, for those who don't know YouTube much, usually you're gonna get your main big spike of views on like a video within that first few days. Sometimes it'll continue farther out and you'll get spikes here and there, but usually once you upload a video, that's when you're gonna get your main chunk of views. And that's why for me it was very strange that I'm like, all right, and especially for how many subscribers I have now, it's like, ask me this question 6 months ago, like different story. But like, considering we got like 3k subscribers, and you're all, for the most part, as far as I'm aware, still active viewers. It's not like this channel's super old, so you all should still be, for the most part, active users. So it's just like, for me, it's just like weird that it's just like, all right, this video should have at least probably a K for how many subscribers and stuff and people are viewing my stuff. And it's like, I'm not complaining about it, it's more just weird. Yeah, see, exactly. And it's just like, I thought it was a good video concept. Like, literally go on YouTube and look up No Pals Tower Bosses Palworld, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of videos with like 100k views. So it's just like weird that like mine just decided to like not get sent out to anybody. So I mean, even you guys in chat can tell me if you guys got notified at all or it showed up in your subscriptions, because something I will say is that my post for it didn't work, or like glitched out and wasn't showing, so I had to re-upload that post. It could be, but then again, I'm doing tower bosses with the lamb ball is also a challenge that's been done numerous times, and my video did okay. It did its like regular amount of views. Like I said, it's like comparing it to the rest of the views that my videos normally get, it's just very weird that like usually the odd video, because it's also the fact that it's one of my like different videos from the upgrade guides, which is why it's weird. It's just like usually those videos do pretty all right, but the fact that this one is just like, nah fam, it's like, let's just say this, I don't care at the end of the day. It is what it is. It's just more of like a, oh, that's disappointing that for some reason didn't do well. But yeah, just kind of a weird thing that I want to mention. I've focused on dungeon hunting for the next few days, so hopefully get the remaining legendary schematics so I can finally enter Break. Yeah, I was gonna say, remember that you can use a drafting table to smash down blueprints. So, but all right, chat. With being back with new camera, battery, and everything, let's finish going over this so we can start building. So, speed running. Built a garden. For those who are curious, how I did this, I just kind of placed one plant thing off the wall first, and then I just kind of dragged it from there to here. I had to destroy this wall plus these walls in order to actually make it happen. Like, so, order of how I did things: place the plant first, deleted the walls, and then I dragged it until a spot where I like assumed it would be good enough and not be hitting the wall. And then we just try to line it up. I think actually I also placed some plants on like these walls and try to help line it up so that way this is all straight with each other. But yeah, that's what I did, and then I just kind of dragged all these plants out so people don't know what I'm talking about. I did like the thing. Okay, this is like conveniently the one item I can't do it with. So I just did that and like slid it to the side. So like that, but obviously with plants and where it works. That's what I'm doing for a while, not fun. When you don't get schematics. That's true. I would say try to do the weaker oil rig. Or just even the regular oil rig. And that should hopefully help you get schematics that you need. Oh, I'm trying to think if there's any other good ways. Dungeon hopping isn't terrible either. But, yeah. That'd be my best suggestions. Yeah, the draft table is definitely a big clutch. And now I don't feel bad about using legendary weapons for, like, challenges and just in my normal, like, playthroughs and stuff. Because it's, like, it actually was a grind to get all those blueprints. Which kind of sucks too, because now people think, oh yeah, he just smashed down all those blueprints. Nah, I grinded for that stuff before they added the drafting table. But we grinded for these views, chat. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, it is super nice. Like if I play through the game again, it's going to be so nice to be able to use the drafting table to upgrade stuff and get better armor and everything. I'm not really prepared for the level 50 oil rig as I die quickly. What pal do you recommend for it, or should I focus on raw weapon power? Hello, crates. When it comes to excuse me, my brain just decided to not work at all. What I would personally recommend for you is, I'll see your message, Dino. I'll get to that in a sec. Uh-oh, crates, what happened? Tell me as I answer this question. I would say try to get pals in your party that have, Stronghold Strategist and, Vanguard. Because that'll give you an extra 10% attack and defense. And then if you also are if you put that on a Gobfin, that'll give you an extra 10 to 20% depending on how much you upgrade them in a PAL condenser. So if you just go to like Gobfin's Turf. So, let me go on the map. So if you go like in, my brain's farting, right here, Gobfin's Turf, right on or above the weak oil rig. If you just go catch a bunch of Gobfins and just upgrade them, you can just, what's it called? You can get that extra 20% attack on top of, like I said, if you get Stronghold Strategist and Vanguard on them, that's an extra 30% attack plus 10% defense. And if you get even more pals in your party with that, you can get a bunch more. So that's what I'd personally recommend. Other than that, I definitely would just try to make sure you have a good armor on you, because as long as you have enough firepower to actually like kill the guys in a reasonable time, like the minions and whatnot, or if you have pals that are strong enough to kill the minions, you should be fine. Just the main thing is making sure you don't die, because it doesn't matter how much power you have if you're just getting one shot. So I had tryouts today and didn't make a. I'm not totally sure what AA is. I immediately just thought of like AA, like the Alcoholic Anonymous. And I am 90% sure, actually I'm 100% sure you're not in that because you're 15. So, but if you tell me what AA is, I'll understand more. But either way, I'm sorry that you did not make AA, whatever that is. Oh, gotcha. Well, sorry, I'm like reading. Welcome, listen, or I'll just say Elf, because once again, my brain is farting. Welcome, Elf. And I appreciate that. That's super kind of you, but no worries, no worries. It's, I'll admit my stream also glitched out and like imploded on itself earlier, so that possibly could have had something to do with it. But I still appreciate the offer, or like the thought. That's super kind of you. I got a speedrun catch up on a few chats. Drafting table definitely one of MVPs. I agree. I just hadn't gotten rid of my schematic. Yeah, literally, dude. I had so many schematics that I've sold off where I'm like, man, I should have kept them. I can't survive, but I have to fly, run, avoid getting killed. Yeah, it's tough. I would say definitely just work on getting better armor, and that'll help you out a ton. And then work on other stuff. Just once again, Godfin, Vanguard, and Stronghold Strategist. Also, if you can get health potions, that's also super helpful. And health defense food. Defense food is super helpful too. So, like Carbonara is a good one. I think that gives 10 or 20% defense, and it's super easy to make. Oh yeah, Nightmare Suggestions good as well. Felbat is also super helpful. Having like health lifesteal for your own character. I wouldn't mind grinding more, but it's exhausting to play alone all the time. I feel that. I mean, hey, I do it all the time, but I get it. It's not for everybody. I'm just a very isolated person, so it's not too big of a deal for me. I enjoy my solo time. Yeah, why stop dealing physical damage to enemies when she can go extra step and inflicts. Yeah, literally. Just like gives them a kiss and they just die. At least see therapy. What is AA crates? I'm not sure what that is. Like I said, I just immediately thought Alcoholic Anonymous, but you're 15, so I don't think that's it. Yeah, literally, it imploded. No, not as far as I'm aware, Elf. It's just the glider update, which, once again, we were discussing it. I'm personally worried that it's also going to somehow eventually affect rideable pals in general. Because the problem is, I know there's definitely been other games in, like, the span of when games have been created, essentially, that there's been some creature you can use as some sort of gliding creature. Like, that has to exist besides, like, Scarlet and Violet did not invent that. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I think it's silly, but because of that, though, that makes me worried. Is like, oh, is Scarlet and Violet gonna go after them because they're like legendary bike Pokemon? It's like you can ride Pokemon, so any animals you can ride, no. But then again, like I said, my argument is like, okay, well, there are these things that have been around for a little bit, these obscure creatures in the real world called horses that people tend to ride on. So unless they plan on patenting literally riding horses, I feel like that one's going to be a hard one to argue. But like I said too, it's Nintendo. Apparently they can just do whatever the heck they want. So, but yeah, TLDR, yeah, as far as I'm aware, at the moment, that's the only thing that's changed. That could potentially change as the lawsuit continues, but at the moment, that's the only thing for this update. He feels lonely and wants to make friends. Also, me, too shy to even talk to people. See, my life motto is I just hate people. And don't take it personal, chat. I just don't like a lot of like big social interaction. I'm very much like more comfortable just sitting around all day at my house just vibing than like going out and doing stuff. I'm just an introvert and I've accepted it. What does drafting table do? Drafting table makes it so if you have some like lower tier schematics, like let's say you had like a bunch of uncommon like helmets for whatever armor, you can take, I think it's like 5, I don't know if it's different for all of them, but I think most of them, if not all, are 5 schematics or something. But you just need a certain amount of schematics of a certain type to upgrade them into a better one. So let's say you had, like I said, 5 helmet schematics that are uncommon. If you had those, you can smash those down in the drafting table to get a rare version of that helmet. And then if you have 5 rare schematics, then you can smash it down into an epic, and so on and so forth until you can get legendary items, or legendary schematics, I should say. So that's what the drafting table does. So it's like it's a way to make your schematics not just a waste of time once you get a better upgraded version of them. It's like, okay, well, I have an epic version, but if I save up all my greens and blue ones and make those into epic schematics, then I can eventually get a legendary schematic. So Travel Hockey has 3 groups. Oh, so it's a hockey team. Oh, low-key. Okay, so it's like a hockey team. But that sucks though, Crates. Like, see, funny enough, I kind of had a similar situation in high school where it's like I wanted to be on varsity for volleyball, but they're like, you're literally never here. In my defense, chat, it's because I was also working like 20 to 30 hours a week in high school. Not for like any particular reason, just because I'm like, I just wanted to work and I did not really care about school. So I was working. But yeah, literally, like, that's why I was on JV instead of varsity, because I literally showed up for half the practices and then I'd show up for game day. I'm like, let's get it, baby. And the only reason why I was captain is because I was a year older than everyone else on the team. So let's go, baby. I'll take the seniority when I can take it, because it doesn't happen too often for me. But that does suck, Crates. I'm very sorry to hear that. I also do have a little story about a time I called the priest of my local church an idiot. Or pastor, whatever you call it. But long story short, I still related to volleyball. Before high school, the only volleyball team I could play on was the local church team. And one year I signed up for tryouts and like whatever, too late. And so I don't even remember how I got the dude's email, but I like got like the church's email or like the pastor's email. I'm like, you're an idiot, let me on the team. And then my dad, like, you know, when I like got home from school or something the next day, he's like, did you call our priest an idiot? I'm like, yeah, I'm all about it. Because I was a little asshole. But yeah, long story short, chat, I did not get on the volleyball team that year. I did get on next year, though. I was on the next year, but not that year. I'm falling behind on chats, but I will speedrun, read through them, and I will respond in random responses to whatever I choose to respond to. Hope that's cool with y'all. Because if best way of putting it, if I don't do this, we're never gonna get through this chat, and we're gonna be sitting here for the rest of the night. Yeah, that's fair. You can use your PAL for gliding and battle at the same time. That's not a bad thing. Let's just say this. The update definitely could have been worse. It is a little frustrating, but it could be a lot worse. Trying out for double and I didn't make it. Dang, that sucks crazy. I mean, I don't know like if there's like a limit on like the age or whatever, if you're gonna be like out of the age limit, but if you're not, there's always next year. Next change arrived. Yeah, exactly. It's just like I'm hoping things will work out for this lawsuit and they don't mess up too much more. Yeah, once again, like you said, it's just like it's going to depend on how this lawsuit fully goes, but at the moment they're just doing what they can in case things go south for them. I feel ya, but let's just say this, Atox, unless you were literally like Elon Musk, I don't think many companies would be able to help out a lot during this lawsuit. It's Nintendo. They're literally the biggest game company on the planet. Double is above varsity. Gotcha. See, I don't know anything about that stuff. I also haven't played a sport since high school, which once again, almost 10 years ago. So I don't know nothing about that. Yeah, see, that's the thing. And that's why I'm kind of like thinking this is like why Pocket Pair is able to kind of fight them. Besides like the amount of money they made from the game, from sales. But it's just because they have a lot of backing behind them. And like I keep kind of saying, Sony would not back a company in game that they think is just going to get sued out of oblivion, especially by the biggest game company on the planet. Like I said, one of their biggest competitors, if not biggest competitor. It's just like they would not take that risk if they thought that was going to happen. So that's another reason why it's like, that's my little safety blanket, you know, like once Sony's like, we're backing out of this, that's when I'm going to be genuinely worried for Pocket Pair and Palworld. But until then, I'm not super worried because, like you said, they got the backing of some pretty big companies like Sony, so we'll see. Yeah. Watch the lawsuit. Bye. I was gonna say, I know I said I was gonna make updates on it in the past, like video updates, but yeah, I do try to keep up with that stuff when I can, but that would be cool if someone could like keep updates on it. I'm just not that person because I don't have enough time. But chat, I'm sorry, let's get into building. It's been actually 2 hours and we haven't done shit. My defense, there's not gonna be like a crazy amount of building that needs to be done at the moment because we're gonna mainly just be figuring out how I want to lay out skill fruit plots. But to speedrun this, so this is how every floor is essentially. So you got windows on left and right, you got some windows on the back walls, got the staircase in the center on all floors, and then you have a nice little balcony on every floor because why not? We're gonna put decorations and stuff out here and make it all nice. But essentially that's just the base layout of this, and then we just put some other little basic windows all over just to kind of change things up and make it not all just pure white walls everywhere. And then the only thing that is different is going to be the very, very top floor. So that's going to be this one. Now this one is a little bit of a weird one. So we obviously have this big main floor, but unlike all the other ones where it's just windows, over here because like I always say, for like roof access, I prefer to try and have roof access for flying in. But we got little entrances on this side and the other side, so if you want to get either to the very top of the roof, which I might end up changing that to flat and putting stuff up there, but right now we just have, we got like these style roofs up there right now. But yeah, we got 2 little entrances if you want to enter the base from the roof. We got our balcony, same as all the other balconies. Nothing crazy. But then we got this up here, chat, which is just, once again, nothing up here besides my bed. But I figured this would be kind of like where I'd have my quote-unquote bedroom. And then down here would be like where I have more of like production stuff, like if I have any assembly lines or any stuff like that, or because once again, this is mainly going to be focused on skill fruits and probably storage based on how I'm building this. But yeah, the main thing is just if we got room, we'll add some extra stuff like production lines, but the main focus is going to be on that stuff. But I think, all right, so this is how I think we're going to do things. Hold up. I think I heard something. I don't know if my animals are getting into chaos. Give me 1 sec, chat. I gotta go see what that was. I thought I heard something, chat. My animals are all sleeping, so I don't know what that was. I don't know if something just fell over behind me and I didn't notice it. I swore I heard like something. Sorry about that. What is, in your opinion, the best skill fruit overall? That's a good question. See, are we saying skill fruit or are we talking about just active skills? Because that's gonna have 2 different answers. Because some active skills don't have skill fruits. But I'll answer both. In terms of specifically active skills you can get in a skill fruit form, I'd probably say Blizzard Spike. Skill fruits outside of exclusive skills. But like ones that you can get from like a skill fruit tree, I would say probably, okay, I take it back. Diamond Rain is pretty dang good. Blizzard Spike's not bad, but I think Diamond Rain's still technically better in terms of like overall damage output. Flame Funnel's also up there. Because that's the thing, there's like the 3 that like people will always kind of say are like some of like the overpowered fruits, which are Flame Funnel, Holy Burst, and Airblade. But yeah, I think Diamond Rain, just because it also has the potential of like the freezing potential. So that's another reason why I say Diamond Rain and Blizzard Spike. Yeah, and then I probably would say those other fruits. Like they're, like I always say, chat, the problem is all the laser fruits kind of suck. And then a lot of the other like elements kind of get shafted on like their abilities. Like grass doesn't even have any like super good moves. Like they're not bad, but they're not like amazing compared to some of these other like moves that pals have. Like a good way of putting it, they have like a slowdown thing because they're vines, but ice can literally just freeze you in place. So it's like slightly worse, or at least in terms of like effect, but I don't know. But Wall Splash isn't bad either. It's kind of one of those things where it also depends too on like how you play and like how you upgrade your pals, because like some abilities might be better based on how much cooldown you have in your pals. Because if it's like a really high powered ability, even low powered abilities, having that cooldown would be helpful. But yeah, so I guess long story short, in terms of the actual skill fruits, I'd say probably Diamond Rain, Flame Funnel, Holy Burst, any of those kind of ones. In terms of like active skills though, like overall, even ones that like don't have skill fruits, not including like exclusive ones, because there's stuff like Dark Wisp and stuff, which was actually what I was gonna say is Dark Wisp is probably one of the best like general ones you can pass down to other pals, mainly because it's like the only good dark move besides like Nightmare Ball. All the rest of the dark moves kind of suck. Skills and pals. Yeah, exactly. See, well, that's what's ironic. It's like they love putting dark type pals in the game, but then they give like one good dark type move and the rest are dog water. And then they like don't give us like any more. It's like you have so many dark type pals in the game, but like 90% of the dark moves suck. Like I said, that's my opinion, but from my experience, I've never had a good time using them. And the problem is too, is because it's like half that is because there's so many dark pals in the game that most of the time when you're coming up against a pal, it's going to be dark type. So it's like dark type moves are just going to be weaker. So that's a whole nother reason why they're worse. But anyways, sorry chat, you know how the streams roll. I don't mean to go on tangents, they just kind of happen. But like I was gonna say before we went on a tangent, we're gonna save building on this floor first. We're gonna start on the second floor because this one I'm gonna kind of do differently because I'm gonna have some storage stuff down there. So let's start figuring out how we want to do this. I think for starters, let's figure out how we want this place. So we don't want it sticking through the wall, so like right there. And now I think we're gonna have it end like right on this line here. So hold on, we're gonna have to do this. Which is gonna kind of suck because I hate having to destroy stuff I already built, but that's how Palworld's building works. Because it sucks. Alright, what are you snapping to? The pillar? Not anymore. Loving it. Also, for those who are just like wondering why I build off stream all the time, this is part of the reason, because it takes like sometimes forever to figure out how to make things work and actually place where you want them to place, because it's like there shouldn't really be a reason why it's not snapping, but it's just like, yeah, by the way, we're gonna not work. Thanks for subscribing. I can't read that name because I need to definitely change that font, but thanks for subscribing. And if you're in chat, hi. Yeah, man. Snap these. Thanks. I think that's good enough. See, this is what's gonna suck actually, because now we gotta figure out what's like forward per se. So like, because we don't want it so like they spawn and they're like facing the wall and then pals have issues grabbing them. Yeah, we're gonna have to delete these walls too. Just delete those. Try to get those out of the way. I think I'm gonna have these kind of go through each other instead of trying to have them be like more outward like this, because I want to see if I can fit. I don't even know how many we'll be able to fit. Let's try this. Alright, so it looks like we're not going to be able to fit 4 anyways. But this might be not a bad spot to try and put a chest or something. So, let's see how this looks if we kind of spread it out a bit more like we were talking about. So what happens if I kind of go like here instead? Hold on. We're going to do this instead. As of now, I think electric and water pals are the least common. I'm gonna remake that graph that I made about all the different element types, but I am fairly confident considering that I think dark type was already like 18% of the element types you come across. I'm pretty sure it's at least 20% now for dark types, considering that Faybreak gave us like 10 different dark type pals and like 1 or 2 of every other type. It's dumb. Stop giving us dark type pals. What weapon do you recommend for a level 50 oil rig? I kind of like rocket launcher, but it's slow to reload. I mainly use the AK, but considering the I'm considering to craft the laser rifle at the moment. I would say definitely get the laser rifle. Laser rifle is an extremely powerful weapon, especially for those types of enemies. Other than that, when I first did the oil rig and everything, I think I just had, I don't remember if I had the regular minigun, but if it wasn't the regular minigun, it was definitely just the regular like assault rifle. And I think I did most of that with blue. So like rare, I think. Like I said, that was a very long time ago I did that, so I can't remember exactly what I did, but I'm like 90% sure I was not using all legendary stuff the first time I did oil rig. Yeah, so with an epic, you should be pretty good at the moment. Let's see, so that's supposed to be these. There we go. So we'll have 3 like that. I will have to go grab a bunch of skill fruits. I might just grab all of them and bring them over here. But yeah, I would say definitely get that. Excuse me. Laser rifle, minigun is helpful just for the fact that you don't have to reload as often. It's essentially like the same power as the regular assault rifle, but you get 100 bullets instead of the 30 or whatever. So, but that is what I would recommend. Let's see. Let's build the other side now. And once again, chat, I'm totally fine if we don't get to the point, like, I still plan on streaming for at least another hour and a half. That's the goal. But, if, like, the main goal of all this is at least figure out how I'm doing each layer, because there's a good chance once I figure out one layer, we're just going to copy and paste that. So that I don't mind doing off stream, but at least figuring this out so you guys can see the first time I do one layer is like the main goal of how I want to do this. But I think at least for tonight, my goal is I should have thought about how I was placing that. I want to at least get one layer of the skill fruit thing figured out, so we're figure out how we're placing these, and then after that start figuring out how we're doing storage. But I think that's also pretty good where that's at. So blam blam, that is not what I meant. Love how I'm staring at the wall, but it's like, yeah, you know that wall you want to delete? Just kidding. Get pranked, idiot. Go like right there. Yeah, see, you see this wall I'm staring at? Why are you wanting to delete the thing under my feet? Stupid game. Alright. Yeah. One of my biggest disappointments is the legendary makeshift AR. That for some reason it's weaker than the regular AR. I mean, see, I think the main problem is that they had it designed off an AK-47, and it's like, in all reality, an AK-47 is a pretty like powerful rifle. I'm not a huge gun guy, but I know a little bit. Like, they use some pretty decent sized rounds, so it's like, in all reality, it shouldn't be like, if you were to actually compare an AK-10M4, obviously different specs and everything, but TLDR, an assault rifle is an assault rifle, you know, especially with very similar rounds, not exact same, but similar. And once again, it all depends on the rifle. If we're talking AR, it's a smaller round, but if we're talking more old school, bigger assault rifles, then it's more similar, yada yada yada. I know your game, gun people. I used to be one of you, and then I got lazy. But yeah, long story short, I think it's just the main problem that they had it designed off of the, like, an assault rifle and have it look like AK-47, because it's like, in all reality, they should probably be about the same power, but in Palworld they're not. Yeah, exactly. Depends on the era of creation and everything. AK-47s, like the Kalashnikov, like AK-47 has been around for a hot minute. Yeah, it's just kind of one of those unfortunate things, ATOX, where it's like, in all reality, the revolver should probably be a lot more powerful than it is. Well, I guess it depends on, I'm assuming this is not based off of like a 50 cal revolver. This is probably one of the more smaller rounds, but yeah, long story short, I assume Pocket Pair doesn't know jack squat about how actual rifles work. That's the best way I can put it, because a lot of their damages for weapons in all reality does not make a lot of sense. I'm being dumb. I need to build this way, so it's just gonna go there for now, because this needs to come here. Oh yeah, gotta do this again. Kind of surprised this didn't collapse on itself, but whatever. It's got enough attachment. Most devs don't really. Yeah, exactly. It's like they're game developers. They're not gun experts. They're just trying to figure out how they can give us more varieties of weapons, which I appreciate that they're giving us at least. I'm glad that we have those varieties, so that way if you want an assault rifle earlier in the game, then you have that option of getting that one. Only thing that doesn't make sense to me is how the guards on the oil rig are much stronger than the pals. That was something that I was like genuinely surprised with, like the level 60 oil rig. I mean, it was the same with the level 50 once I got to that, or like when that came out and everything. But yeah, it's just like, I'm like genuinely surprised how like tough the oil rig enemies are overall. Well, like I said, now the regular oil rig, it's not too bad once you hit level 60 and get some like decent gear. especially since they added even better weapons. But yeah, it's if you didn't have the laser rifle, which is why I recommend you use it. Like the laser rifle was like my go-to weapon for figuring out. God dang it, chat! I'm stupid. I placed it in the wrong spot again. God damn it, Bobby, that boy ain't right. Come on now. Why don't you want to connect though? Newest, you're in the way. I think it just rotated it too, so I'm gonna have to rotate that back. Maybe, maybe not. See, it's annoying because like I need to see this line, but it won't let me do it here for whatever reason. Come on, man, just snap to it. I'm literally just like I'm literally holding the snap button. So it's like I'm literally just praying for a connection, essentially. It's so dumb how I can only do it from this. I need to see this line. Goodbye, glass, then. Whatever. Make my life even more difficult. There, that's all I wanted, game. Was that really that difficult? Did you really have to make me put up that much of a fight for that? Anyways. Oh yeah, I need to build this one too. Hold that thought. There we go. I would highly recommend, well, I guess the real question is, it really depends on if you're going to be mainly using that or if you're going to be swapping out between different weapons. Because if it's going to be your main weapon for the oil rig, I would definitely craft more. But if you got a few different weapons you're going to be swapping in and out of, then that would probably be fine, at least for one run of the oil rig. Fight Xenoloord, please. Unfortunately, we are not going to be doing that tonight. It's not really on the plan. I'm sorry, A. We're not going to have spamming in chat. We're going to not be spamming in chat. We're going to put you on a nice little 10-minute timeout. And you can come back if you want to be nice later, but we're not going to be doing no spamming in chat, thanks. If you want to watch the Xenoloord fight, we have a video on the channel. Go watch that one. I promise it's great, but we're no spamming. It's alright. I mean, it is what it is. It's just like, listen, I get it. Xenoloord fight is exciting and fun, but that's not what we're here to do today, chat. We could plan for that another day. I do have plans for fighting Xenoloord and other stuff in the future, but once again, not today. You guys will find out about those plans later, because I was thinking about them at work. That's low-key where I get a lot of my ideas from, chat. I just, while I'm working, I'll just like come up with an idea and I'll just jot it on a notepad. Of Hatch. Oh yeah. Funny enough. Alright, chat. I think he actually subscribed to the channel, which is why I don't want to be too mean, because I'm sure he's probably like a nice individual. It was just kind of a funny way. It was just kind of like a rude way of saying it, but I'm sure that overall they're probably a fine person, hopefully. Either way, I don't know them personally. I don't have any personal connection to them, but yeah, it was funny. But yeah. It's one of those things where I was just like, I told people watching, chatting. It's called a live stream. But no, like I said, I don't like to hate on people. It's not what I'm not here to do that. It's just more funny in the moment to be like, shut up. I'm being stupid. That's what I'm trying to do. Sorry, chat. You know how I be. My brain don't work too well. My brain don't work, Bubba. There we go. I appreciate that, Darren. It's just like, I mean, especially during live streams, I'm obviously, if we're doing something kind of high intensity, yeah, I'll probably be a lot more intense, but it's like, I'm not coming to like be super hype all the time. It's just not my style. Like I said, in real life, just day-to-day life, I am a very introverted person. Like I'll make my jokes and whatnot and my hee-haws here and there, but at the end of the day, I'm not like the type of dude who's like out being super social all the time. So it's like, yeah, I'm just here vibing, talking with chat, being dumb. I'm a big old dummy dumb. That's okay. Apparently you guys like big old dummy dumbs, so it works out. I don't know if that's where I exactly want that. It's kind of hard to tell with the glass. Replace tool, chat. That's not the right tool. That's the disassembly one. Now that I can see what I'm doing, this will work a lot better. I'm crafting 2400 cartridges now. Gonna try it out a bit on the oil rig. Yeah, I mean, like I always kind of say, you won't know how far off you are from actually being able to like do something unless you give it a try. That goes for oil rig, that goes for raid bosses, it goes for tower bosses. You won't know if you're prepared enough until you try it. And keep in mind, you can always, I forget if you're on console or not, Atox, but if possible, you can always just save the world or copy it and do it on a different world. And if it fails, just reset game and call it a day. And that way you don't even lose anything. But yikes. I feel that. I have definitely been up until like all night until 6 a.m. and it's just that like weird feeling where it's just like, I know I should have been sleeping all night, but I haven't. So now I'm just kind of like existing at the moment. And maybe I did have it lined up where I wanted it to be. I don't know how close in the wall I want it. I guess the main thing is I just don't want it to be clipping through the wall so you can see it on the outside of the base. My brain left the building when it became 11:45 for me. Hey, that's what I always say, Nightmare. After 10 p.m. for me, just expect me to get even more dumb as the night goes on, because I already am tired all the time, and then when I'm getting even like really tired, it is terrible. I got Xenolord with Heart of the Immovable King. Very nice. Funny enough, I don't remember it. No, it was the fasting one, whatever that one was. That one I could not get off of my Xenolord. I was trying to get that off for the longest time, and it was a pain because I'm like, it's not a bad skill, it's just not what I wanted on my Xenolord, and it just would not go away. All right. Ironically, now we have to blow up all of these walls and hope my base doesn't. Okay, cool. See, once again, chat, remember what I just said? Facing the wall, why do you blow up the thing underneath the wall? It makes no sense to me. All right, we're gonna try this again, chat. Look, I'm literally not even near it. Thanks. Pretty sure one point legit stayed up. Yeah, I've definitely done that before. Ironically, it was somewhat recent. To make sure I don't absolutely screw myself over. Let's build a couple of these back, you know, so I don't absolutely collapse my entire base. Actually, chat, that is something I will mention. I think I've already mentioned that for my all-in-one mega base, that the one that's shown in the video is actually my second attempt building that. Chat, do you know how satisfying it is to see an entire mega base blow up? Because it's built on a 2x2 platform, so once you destroy the support beams, it all just blows up. You know how satisfying that is? Next time I do something like that, chat, I'm doing it either on stream or I'm at least recording it. Because honestly, the only reason why I didn't is because I was worried my entire computer was just gonna like implode on itself. So that's why I didn't do it for that time. But next time I will make sure to record it because it's actually pretty insane. Because the thing is too is that like for some reason like after a certain point like this materials will just start slowly floating down, so it'll just be like raining materials essentially. You wanna lock where I want you to lock, that'd be pretty neat. Yeah, like why are you stopping? Come on. Why don't you want to lock though? There, was it literally that? Like I always say, chat, this is kind of why I like showing how I build things. At least like for one floor, because essentially I do the same thing just way more efficiently for the other floors once I finally figure out how to do it. Man, like this is always just a pain. This is why it feels like we get nothing done and then I get so much done off stream. Because it's like figuring out how to do this stuff half the time is like half the battle. Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Yeah, Philanthropist is also one of those where it's like it is so hard to get rid of, and it's just like the problem is that it's such a helpful skill. It's just the problem is that once you got it on a pal, it's like impossible to get it off their offspring and stuff. We told you. And laser rifle is awesome. It's like really, it's definitely one of the top tier weapons in the game for sure. So as long as you got the laser rifle, I think you'll be okay, Tox. Best wars I've had most success with best wars. Yeah, some pals I have better luck than others, and it's not for any specific reason or anything. It's just some pals are good for breeding and some suck. My main two examples I always like to give, Xenolord for ones that you can't really like use any way of like, there's no easy way of getting skills on them. Xenolord is just one of those where it's just you just keep breeding pals over and over again until you finally get the skill you want and hope you don't miss it after the thousands you've bred. But my other one that I always like to say is Splatterina. Do you know how long, chat, it took to get the Splatterina for that video? I had like 6 breeding farms going with each breeding farm had a Splatterina with the passive skills I wanted, but that alpha one just would not come to me like at all. It took forever to get an alpha version. It's like I had, like I think I've showed it in the past. I have like 20 like Splatterinas with the same passive skills as my alpha one, just because I could not for the life of me get one with the skills an alpha version with the skills I wanted. So it's like sometimes it just sucks. It just can't get what you want on your pals, and it takes forever. And sometimes there's no rhyme or reason of what pal it is either. Some makes sense, like raid bosses, where it's like you literally just have to breed 2 of the same raid boss to actually keep get the pal or the passive skills. But yeah, some of them it's just like they're just hard for no reason, especially if you're, like I said, if you're going for alpha versions. Honestly, it's not a bad way of doing it, Atox. If you have the resources and stuff, that's what I did for the new oil rig, the new hard oil rig. It's just like, yeah, I just sat there and waited for the thing to respawn, and that's what I did for my farming. Just like I said, as long as you got the resources and like food for all that. I have like 20 guards waiting for me downstairs. Yikes. You managed Splatterina reminds me to put splatter or marksman craftsmanship. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you did that. Yeah. See, I haven't tried a work Splatterina yet, but I know a lot of people are pretty much saying it's like the new GOAT over Anubis. But like I said, I don't know. I find them both equally good for different reasons. So, what am I doing down here? I don't know what I'm doing in chat. What game are we playing? Is this Minecraft? All right, chat. I guess the real question here now is, obviously for this one, I wouldn't be able to put 2 forward, but do we want to try to put like another thing this way? I don't know how I want to do this exactly. Because I feel like with all the space we got, we could definitely place some more skill fruit trees. It's just, I don't know how I'd want to do it exactly. Because I kind of like in front of the windows, not gonna lie. However, actually, now I'm kind of looking at it, OCD brain chat, this one's not in the center, and it's making me uncomfortable. So, we're gonna do it again. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, loving it. And if you're wondering why I'm destroying it, I just know I'm gonna have to destroy all that stuff. I know it's all gonna get in the way. So that's what I'm aiming for. So this middle one. I think. See, the problem is I would like to use that little blue line as a little like way to make sure it's center, but I feel like that's not always accurate all the time. We'll try it. Sometimes it feels like, depending on the object, it's off. Oh, 99 jam-filled buns. Yeah, I think you'll be fine, Atox. At least on food. I think if you sleep, if not splat. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the fact that they can work at night is definitely an advantage. But once again, it all depends on how you play. Because some people, like me, they'll just sleep through the night, so it doesn't really matter. But once again, some people, they play just through day and night and do not care. So then having that nocturnal just passively on them without having to actually have nocturnal on them is definitely like a helpful feature to have for work pals. So like I said, they both got their kind of give and takes, but once again, I find Anubis more helpful because of his mining aspect compared to Splatterina's. Plus he's just generally faster for transporting. So once again, pick and choose what you prefer on your pal. My OCD brain is feeling a little better about that placement, chat. It makes me feel a little better. Welcome, oh my gosh, Slip Shock Gaming. I'll call you either Slip or Shock, because I feel like there's so many people that have gaming, including myself, in the name that it'd be weird if I called you that. Or if I call you Slip Shock. How about that? You choose, let me know. But long story short, funny enough, we said we were gonna test it, and then I just kind of never did. Let's do it. So I have a fully upgraded Gale Claw, which is perfect for this. Hello, Gale Claw. Let's fly up top with Dave just so we can get some height to test this out. Because we already have the glider. So yeah, that definitely, so essentially, yeah, it just works the same as how the pals work. You just have to have a glider now. So once again, at least for me, since I always use a glider anyways, it's not that much of a difference. However, I could highly see for some people it might be annoying. But I personally think I'd like this a little better because, like, I forget who commented in mentioning this, but now at least you can have like Gale Claw out fighting with you and not just wasting space. So like, see, now you can just use the glider and Gale Claw can fight with you. So not the worst thing in the world, but I don't know. We'll have to kind of play a little bit, test it out, see how it works. But once again, I'm more curious about if other rideable pals will be affected in the future. That's going to be the main concern, because if that happens, then we might be in trouble. Now I think about it, we have almost enough dark type with all work suitability for both a farm and mining production base. Yeah, literally. And that's like going back on my point about too many dark pals. It's like you could literally have a base solely of dark type pals, especially with Prunelia and stuff. It's like you literally have every sort of base worker available to you in a dark type pal form. Yeah, only gliders for now. So essentially, like, yeah, like I said, it'll give you the same passives as the pals. It's just you have to have a glider on you at this point, which once again, depending on how people play, it can be a negative or even a positive, but we'll have to all kind of play and test it out for ourselves and see how we all like it and come to an overall conclusion. Because personally, I don't think it's too bad at the moment. I think it could have been a lot worse, especially like what Pocket Pair was saying. If they didn't do this, they would have had to do a lot more major changes, which I'm assuming is affecting all rideable pals, or like getting rid of gliding in general or something. So I think this is probably the best solution at the moment, but we'll see how things go from here. There should be a pal that has every crop suitability. Just imagine a pal that can water, gather plants, and transport. I think that would be very nice. I'm sure if they did add that, they would be like probably all like level 1 and 2 abilities, but I think that would be kind of nice, just have one pal that can do everything. But then again, that's why those books exist now, so now you can technically just make that yourself if you wanted to. But I think a natural pal would be pretty cool to have. Alright, so let's replace these if I can, apparently. Like 3 frames I can like, or like 3 pixels I can actually place these on. That's not the right wall. Silly me. Then we'll place these back. And I think I'm happy with how that is now. Oh, I was gonna say, is that the name of that like one unreleased pal? Because I thought, if I remember correctly, that was, it had a weird name. But yeah, maybe. The book should be expanded on to let us give work suitability to a pal, even if you need like 5 books. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Like to do that and boost and like actually give house those abilities. But yeah. Oh, is that the world tree? Is that what it's called? Listen, chat. I just build mega bases and upgrade pals in this game. I don't care about the lore. I don't care why Zoe's in the game. I'm kidding. I mean, kind of half serious, but like half not. Like, listen, chat. I'll just be straight up with you guys. I'm not the type of person that's into like a lot of world building in at least a lot of the video games I play. It depends on which one. If it's a story-driven game, sure. But like in a survival game, I could care less about what the actual story is. I just care about how the game plays. I care about my enjoyment instead of what did Zoe do before she was a tower boss? Question mark. I don't care. Can you get these books outside of Fabric other than the PAL critics? I think you're able to get them on the harder oil rig randomly. I think I have gotten them from the big chest, but there's some other ways. I know there's videos of people's like showing on their thumbnails like having a gajillion of each book. I don't know how legit those are. I've never clicked them, but I know they exist. But yeah, I'm sure there's other ways to do it besides just the critics. Oh yeah, can you get them in the elemental chests? I know they updated them to make them better so you can also get dog coins. Did they also add those in that, or have they always been part of it? But okay, yeah. But I did not know the tree was called that, though. That is neat. How do you even pronounce that? Yggdrasil? Yggdrasil? Is that right? Did I say right, chat? I'm assuming it looks very Nordic. Especially with like Drazzle. Okay, here's a different question, chat. Should we move these over one so we can pull this out and have 2 rows? Because at the moment, this isn't going to fit, but if we brought it over one whole wall, it would. We're going to do a vote, chat. We haven't done one in a minute. How exciting is this? Yeah, Norm Smith, not ology. Okay, so at least I was right on that one. I only know that because I think Nordic stuff is cool. Plus, conveniently, in One Piece, for those who know about One Piece, we're an Elbath, baby, or Elbath, and Elbath is based on Nordic stuff. So, that is also convenient. It's just that, like, first part, it's like Yggdrasil. Yeah, Yggdrasil or something. I think that's like the white version of it saying it. But something along those lines. I was gonna do something, now I forget what I was gonna do. I don't know. Wait, I remember what I was gonna do. Pull time, baby. See, welcome to ADHD life chat. I have the memory of a goldfish. Engage with my audience. Keep one layer. Oops. Should we move crop plots over one for 2 rows? Question mark. Yes or no? There. Start. I know how I structured that sentence is a little scuffed, but I also passed high school English with a C. And there goes my camera battery. But yeah, you guys know what I mean. Should we? Let me click into the game again. Should we take this and push it somewhere else. No, so should we take this plot? It is lined up with this. Should we shift this one over to make room so we can have another full 3 rows, because my OCD brain will not like having only 2 forward and having this one weird one here. So that's why we need to make that decision. So how about this? While I go change camera batteries again, you guys vote. Anyone else who wants to vote, do that. And we'll be back in just a couple minutes here while I change camera batteries. So BRB chat. All right, we're back, but are we actually back with my camera? Nope. It's a lie, chat. Just a prank. Hold on. Come on, camera. And if this doesn't work in a minute, I'm gonna give up on camera. One of those things where it's like I care about it for so long and I care after a certain point. Come on now, I know you want to work. You were just working. I know, right? Black screen. Ever. Oh, now it's just back. Love it. Hi, chat. I don't understand this camera one bit. It looks like we're saying yes, move it over one. And also, I vote Speakerhead for president. I'll tell you what, Atox, I am probably one of the most underqualified people to be president. I appreciate the sentiment, but I should not be running this country or any country. I was a history, social studies kid in school. I was more of a lunch and gym kind of guy. I was not good in school. Once again, kind of due to, excuse me, a lot of that had to do with undiagnosed, like, severe ADHD. So I could not focus in school at all. So that's why I like gym and lunch, because lunch is lunch and gym. I could just run around and be a little schizo ADHD kid. Yikes. Rest in pepperonis. Alright, well, let me close this and poll. I also apologize if you guys hear me clear my throat. For those who might not be aware, I have asthma, and sometimes my throat gets phlegmy. Probably should have kept one of those, huh? It's fine. We'll just place another one. So, I think I'll place it here, just because I want to make sure we got enough room. I could probably, can I do that a little closer? I could probably go like right there. Now we do the fun part of blowing up half the base again. Once again, don't understand. I'm literally like hugging the wall, but it's still like we're gonna destroy that instead. Alright, same. Now. Alright, are you gonna be a pain and not want to drag over? Fine, then we'll do it. Okay, because that's what I wanted. The second it disconnects. See, and that's the problem. It's like if I drag it too close, if I put that one there. Maybe if I have it like right here, it'll work. Like that. Is that enough clearance? Yes, it is. Barely, but it is. Now, this is going to be the tough part, which I'm probably going to just have to say screw that. Like that, delete that, delete that. I always like to build it first because it makes it a little easier to see where the line is between each border, instead of it all just being blue. There, see, and now we have room to build a whole nother row that way. Love to see it, chat. Let's rebuild this stuff. You gotta move, buddy. Let's see how to have this. So it goes this, and those are glass. This, this, and this. Finally, that. Cool beans. I think I should start catching Goblin to survive oil rig better. I need spheres though. Which ones are the best for them? Gigaspheres or hyper? I guess it really depends on how many of the little leaf affinity things you have. Assuming you've been upgrading your capture rate and that, I'd say honestly either are pretty good, especially if you're around the level 50 range. But let's see what, because I think it goes Giga and then Hyper. I'd say I love how now it's saying ending the poll. Yeah, your capture rate's past maxed out. You could probably go for Gigas if you want to just to be extra safe about it, Hyper, but you could probably get away with Giga. They're only like level, I think, 20s or under 20 in that area. So they shouldn't be too difficult to catch. Let's see. So, I wonder if I can I use that one? No, that would make my life too easy. Wonder if I do this. This will give me enough clearance. Was my badass annoying? Okay, this seems like it was working, kind of. Damn. Still not enough room. So, now we're doing this. It's fine. I didn't like this base anyways. We'll build it like here. And that should hopefully give us enough room. Man, it's just like the fact that it loves trying to snap to other things like that is so annoying. It's like, this is clearly closer, but it's like, nope, not gonna do it. See, just gonna snap to that. I know your game, Palworld. I'll play it. I'll beat your system. Yeah, based on my current resources, hyperspheres are better to craft. I'm a numbskull, I forgot. I need 2 splatterinas with those skills, a male and female. I have definitely made that mistake before. Like, for like my work chickpeas or something. Luckily it was chickpeas, but I've had it with other pals too. I just remember chickpeas specifically. I think I like had like a full like upgraded chickpea, and I realized afterwards, I'm like, oh, I have 2 females and 1 male, or I don't remember what exactly it was. It might have been chickpea, it might have been a different pal, but I just remember I had it with a couple pals where I'm like, oh, I saved 2 females and now I don't have a good way of breeding more of them. Cool. Yeah, if you're planning on damaging them, you can go with Gigas, but if you're planning on just kind of like throwing spheres and just having fun that way, then Hypers would be a better bet for that. But once again, especially with you having your capture rate fully upgraded, either one should work pretty well at the level you're at. I was gonna say, what are you low on Atox? Is it like Pallium fragments? Because I know that's, at least for me for a while, was my main issue. That's funny. Could I actually fit 4 of them in that section? I guess I probably could, huh? I might save these corners for just building other stuff, though, so I think we will keep those open. I mean, considering that we're going to have, what, 3? It would be 6, and then 9, 12, and then another 6, so 18. And then we're going to have a whole nother floor of this. I think that's more than enough plots. So we'll go this. I'm literally dumb running into glass. Let's do that. Put these bad boys here. Now all I got to do is that other side. Excuse me, chat. Other than that, oh yeah, and then we just gotta place this other row, of course. But other than that, that should pretty much take care of things. So, so we're gonna line it up with that one, so that's like in the middle. So, oh, excuse me, chat. Getting a little sleepy. Luckily, like I said, we're going to be ending around midnight-ish anyways. I don't think we're going to do the storage part of things. That might be, unfortunately, another day, chat. You know how it be with not staying focused for jack squat. Brother. I love spending time lining something up for like 30 seconds just to delete it because of things like JK. See, chat, really my 5,000 hours of playtime in this game has just been trying to line things up and then accidentally deleting them. Looking good so far. Thanks, Dino. I appreciate it. Fragments are easy for you to get. Gotcha. Yeah, at least for me, back in the earlier days, it was kind of a pain, but now I got plenty of pals that are a lot easier to help get use the mills and crushers and stuff. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about, chat. Remember when I was saying I don't trust that like blue line as our lineup point? Because look how like off that is. Cause yeah, like if the blue, if we went out based off of where the blue line ended, it would be like here. That's just not right. Probably could be moved over like another inch. You snap to there. I think that's pretty good, or at least as good as it's gonna get. Alright. See, notice how I'm going a lot faster about the sound now that I've like kind of figured out how I'm doing things. Like I said, that's like that's the struggle of building these bases. It's half it is just figuring out how I want to build every other floor. And then the other half is just actually just copying and pasting all the floors. That. LOL, get blocked, idiot. I'm probably gonna have to go. Oh, I guess I can do that. So there we go. Later, nerd. LOL. Made a greenhouse for my crop skill tree, or skill tree base. Spent hours making it look good and trying to line everything up. Only realized I had made it wide enough. Yep. That's like what happened with me with my all-in-one mega base. I like built it and then I'm like, I don't like how small this is. Let's make it bigger, and then I blew it up. It was actually kind of a pain because what happened was too, I already had built that like giant sky tower. So what I had to do is I had to like build extra so that way the tower fully connected to the ground, because if I just destroyed the base, that would have been all of that work. That tower took a long time to build up towards, so it's just like, considering its max height, but it's just like, I've had a lot of pains where it's just like, yeah, try building something and then you're like, oh, I don't like how this is, and then you like rebuild all of it. But all right, so let's build these last two, and then I think this is going to be honestly the main thing that we got to test, chat. We got to see if these skill fruit trees are facing the right direction. I know, kind of silly to ask that question now considering we're literally at this point, but problem is I never know what direction these trees are actually facing, like just based off the plots. So we're gonna be finding that out together if I just spent all this time for nothing. Smile. Why are these like in each other compared to the other ones? Or are these always like this? Am I stupid? I'm probably stupid. Yeah, see, then we'll have plenty of plots, and then we'll put some more decorations all around this place to make it all nice and pretty. At least in terms of structures that are doing stuff, I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, I think that should be fine. There you go. That's always a good plan. I always suck at doing that. Like, I'm literally always like, all right, let's go out and do stuff. And it's literally about to turn nighttime. I think that should be enough spheres, Atox. 1K. Let's see. Let's go grab some pals, or some skill fruits. Let's also just do this real fast, just as a way to keep them here. Let's just build this bad boy. What are you doing? Build it. So let's go to this space. Let's grab a bunch of these. We'll probably actually just grab them from up here, since we got a bunch that we were already doing. I just don't have any transport pals, which is why it stopped. Let's just, these all different ones. Cool. Oh, let's, this is like literally every single type of neutral type. That's hilarious. So let's just grab all of these for now. Oops, I literally do not care. Let's go back to this base. Yeah, funny enough, Nightmare, I also never really used the sphere launcher, especially since they added the sphere modules. I've always just never found an issue with getting up close to a pal and throwing a sphere. If you kind of learn the timing of like when to throw spheres if they break out of them, you usually can be pretty close. So it's like most of the time the sphere launcher is kind of just an unnecessary item to carry around with you. Once again, like I always say, though, some people might find it more helpful than me, but personally, I never really got much use out of it, especially once again with the sphere modules. It seems like those just work totally fine. Do I have any spheres on me right now? Probably not. I do. A good example, like with the sphere thing, I can just go yeet. And I can catch a pal all the way from here. And the sphere module thing I have on is the... How do I see that? Right here. I have the sniper module too, so it increases the range. And it also increases capture power too, but that's what I personally use. Which is exactly why I'm like, I see no use in using the PAL launcher. Yeah, I also like to turn on ×3 for whenever I'm going and getting Goblins. I did that for when I was doing PAL fluids as well, but now that I got like a crap ton of money, now I can just buy them from merchants. So let's do this. Let's a fruit I actually don't mind having more of. Let's just use Holy Burst as our tester fruit, because you can never have enough Holy Burst, chat. So we'll throw you, and all this in here. I guess get some of these separated right away so we can just yeet them in the spots. There, that will be fine for the moment. Nice. See, I have a lot of Holy Bursts, just like not even the ones that we got. I have a lot more in my other base, but okay, cool. So hypothetically, these should all be facing the right direction, but I'm still gonna place skill fruits in all of them just to make sure. We might have to do some testing within the next week or so before I actually like upload the video to make sure that all my pals can reach all this, but I'm 90% sure they can. I mean, overall that looks good and all those are in the right direction, so we also might need to throw a bunch of what's it called, Yormantides down to start watering these to start getting them out of the way again. But once again, I just need to make sure that these are facing the right direction, because those plots are kind of hard to tell what direction they're going to be facing. Like most crops it doesn't matter, but obviously with the skill fruits it kind of does. Oops. All right, let's try these. This should be a lot quicker. Cool. I literally I am smart, Chad. I just sorted all these out and I just threw them a big old pile in there. I guess we don't even need that one in there either. These are all looking good. See, another reason why I'm testing is because the snapping feature, depending on the walls and stuff, will change the direction of what your stuff is facing. So that's why I'm like making sure this is actually the direction I was intending to place it. That's looking pretty good to me, chat. I don't know about you guys. But imagine how this is gonna look with all the different colored skill fruits and not the just ugly gray spheres, neutral ones. Cora, welcome back. Hey, no worries, no worries. But glad you're back. Glad you could make it. Like I said, we're probably gonna only be streaming here for a little bit longer, but yeah, glad you could stop back in. You look into how skill fruits work. I just keep putting whatever sounds best in mind, then piling them into a chest. Yeah, it's one of those things where obviously the more you play the game and learn the abilities, you kind of figure out which ones you want to have a lot of. But yeah, I mean, that's also the nice part about skill fruits. As long as you're kind of have a consistent supply going, you'll generally get every type, because they don't always make 3 of the same one. Sometimes it's a different one. I prefer Flare's Aqua since it's also a level 4 water with transport, and more importantly, it's smaller. See, I say yes about that, but at the same time, you got to keep in mind that like Polaris also flies like 10 feet off the ground. So in all reality, in terms of like box and like getting around, it kind of is equal for Yormantide and Polaris Aqua, but I will say the transporting aspect is a huge difference. So I do see why people would still want to use Polaris Aqua. If you're tossing maybe a sniper, are you just saying, oh, what modules should I use? I haven't crafted any modules. I kind of would go off of what people are saying in chat, because I literally only built the sniper 2 one, and then I haven't built another one, so I genuinely could not tell you. But I like the sniper ones. I'm sure the sniper 1 is fine, but because I was already a level 60, I just built the level 2 one. I'm still hunting flame funnel. Try the Faybreak Islands, Darren. Those skill fruit trees, I think that's where I got my first flame funnel skill fruit. Because I don't think Palworld, excuse me. I don't think Pocket Pair updated what spawns on the skill fruit trees that are existed, so I'm pretty sure those are still the same ones that have always spawned there. But I think on the Faybreak ones we'll have the new skill fruits, so try that out. I have a scatter sphere launcher. I want to hunt down goblins for the oil rig, and I want to hunt down oil rigs for the oil rig. Excuse me, Chad. Brain dying. But I mean, it's one of those things where try it out, see if you like it. But like I said, for me personally, I've always just found just throwing them directly at a pal just the easiest way to do it. But if you find the launchers more useful for you, then definitely use them, because I mean, they seem pretty neat. Yeah, that too, Darren. Like Atox said, if you just plant and like grow skill fruits enough, and like I was even saying, you'll eventually get flame funnel. Yeah, exactly, Atox. think flame funnel is only from the orchard trees. It could be, but like I said, I think it also is based off of the skill. I think you can get them on the fabric ones because they were added during the fabric update, which means those trees are probably updated with those skill fruits. Because I think it was a similar thing with Holy Burst, because I know I didn't like grow those at first, because I think those were the first 2 skill fruits I started growing. So definitely, like I said, the fabric trees are most likely the ones that are going to have them. So I definitely give those a try. Oh yeah, that's true, Coral. I'm sure the the sphere launchers are much better for flying. I usually do all my catching on the ground, but I'm sure, yeah, the sphere launcher is much better for that. To be honest, chat, I could kind of start building more, but I am actually getting very tired. Like I said, it's midnight, and I do gotta work tomorrow and get up at 5 again. So I think, I know we literally did like no building, chat. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to do this, but as you guys saw by the amount of destroying of my base I had to do to just place these plants, sometimes it's a pain in the ass. Which is why, once again, I usually do this off stream. I'll just like turn on like a podcast for an hour and just attempt to build what I want while the game fights me the entire time. But I will say though, I think I like how it's generally laid out. I think that was the main thing I wanted to get figured out, because once again, now that we figured out how I'm placing these, like the literal like method of placing them, of deleting walls and stuff, I think now that I have that figured out, I think doing the next layer is gonna go like twice as fast. That's usually how it goes. Hey, well, like I always say though, I hope you guys have fun during these streams. I know we just go on tangents, but like I always say, it's my time to talk to you guys. It's fun. It's fun to actually have a community to talk to. We can just talk about whatever. We laugh together, we cry together. And I will say, like, and not in like a weird way or anything, but I genuinely will be thinking about you and your situation, Dino. Like, only hoping for the best for you and everything. And not just you, but like your entire family and everything, because I'm sure it's rough for them as well. So, but we're all here for you, man. Bold of you to assume it's not fun watching your streams. Listen, I think it's just that like mentality most people have where you just assume you're not interesting or funny. Like, I don't know. I'm just a guy and I'm just running around with my ADHD brain doing nothing 90% of the time. Oh, before we leave, I'll show you this because it's kind of peeking out of the ground. This will be my last little treat for you all, because it's going to be just something in the works. First off, I'm going to definitely need... Bam! Oh, you were gonna be my friend because you were cute, but now you were dead because you were gonna murder me. But I'll show you this a little quick. Got a little secret tunnel. Since we had it up one layer. This is where the bar is gonna be, baby. We're gonna set this up all nice and everything. We got the glass pillars. We're gonna make this all fancy. We got the carpet, but we're going to set up the bar all down here. Like I always say, chat, gotta have a bar somewhere. It's always got to be somewhere. We'll just have some ugly floors sticking through the ceiling here and there. That's fine, though. But this will be our little secret until the video, chat. $5 o'clock somewhere. That's what I'm saying. But either way, chat, when we come back next time, we'll probably have the second layer here built just the same skill fruit design. And then I'll try to do one more stream of at least getting the storage rooms all situated and maybe the bedroom. But then after that, the next time you guys will probably see it is during the video, would be my guess based on how I do things, because I suck at things. But yeah, overall, I think it's pretty good. Oh, this is the very last thing, because this is more of just a personal thing. I like seeing how things look from the outside, and see, especially with the windows and stuff. I just like seeing how how my thumbnail's gonna look, chat. So you can kind of see the skill fruits in there a little bit. Okay. But no, it'll be a lot more different, because I think I'm also going to be adding, I don't know if I'm going to do it across the entire building, but I think there's a chance if I decide I'm going to go total, like, actual autistic mode and, like, put up plants all over the building, I might do that, but we'll see. Like I said, it depends on how much my ADHD is like, you should do this, and then actually doing it. That's the real question. But yeah, we'll see, chat. We'll see how things go. But yeah, we're ending things. Tis been fun. Hope you all had a fun time. Like I said, I mean, we be chatting, we be vibing, but that's the vibe of the Speakerhead channel, baby. But thank you all for stopping in for the stream. It's been super fun. Like I said, we had our highs and lows, but at the end of the day, I hopefully at least put a smile on your guys' face at least once tonight. Or today, depending on the time period you're at. But yeah. I mean, nice meeting you guys too. I know it's like meeting, but like, hey, it's a good way of us kind of, the best way of putting it, this is probably like the most real you guys will catch me, because I'm not, for streaming, I'm not going to be putting up a big front for like 8 hours. Obviously, I'm probably a little bit more eccentric than I am talking. I'm not talking to myself all the time. But yeah, other than that, it's like, you know, this is a good way for you guys to kind of get to know me outside of my videos. So, yeah, I was gonna say it's 11:53 for me. Gotta be getting some sleep, or attempting to get some sleep, chat, for work. But we'll try to do another stream over the weekend. I will be doing a poll soon, asking you guys about what days you would prefer, like if we were to have a consistent streaming schedule, what days you would prefer that to be on. I'll mention it's probably gonna be on a weekend day. So like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe potentially Monday, just because I also have Mondays off for my work schedule at the moment. But we'll figure that out. But yeah, I'll do a poll in the future, just talking about when a good time, because first we're gonna vote on what day we want, and then we'll vote on like what time. So like a morning stream, afternoon stream, night stream. Obviously this is like based on my time period, but you get what I mean. We'll figure out what works best for everybody, so that way we can kind of have a consistent stream schedule always. So that way, once again, it's not just me posting like 2 hours before, being like, we're starting at this time, and then I just start like way later than actual time. Because that's the nice part. If I actually have a weekly stream schedule, maybe that way I'll actually have a weekly or a consistent time to stream. But all right, on that note, chat, tis been fun. Thank you all for joining. Like I said, for like the 8th time, because that's how it works. I have to say it like 50 times because I go on tangents. But enjoyed the stream. Like, subscribe, really helps the channel. Check out the DMCA free music label Speakerhead Studios, helps out the channel as well. Also, if you're getting a dedicated server, check out Berry Byte, because use Speaker 20, get yourself 20% off your next server. Other than that, yeah, we'll catch all y'all in a few days. Got a new guide coming out hopefully in the next couple days, and hopefully we'll do another stream over the weekend to kind of finish up at least the main basic structure of this mega base. So all right guys, I'll catch all y'all in the next one. You guys have a good day, night, evening, whatever time period it is, wherever you're at, and we'll see you guys later. Take it easy, everybody. And you take it easy as well, Dino, for real. Like, if you need to message me, whether just leave a comment or just let me know your Discord, and if you need to chat or anything, just let me know, man, for real.